you're clearly in a very systemized form of practice at this stage,
Yes.
right? That is the goal for me in life.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my loved ones, my friends, my teammates that I don't see myself being a YouTuber in my 40s and my 50s. I'm doing this as a form of duty because I honestly feel I've done some wrong stuff in my past lives and I'm just making up for it at
No,
this
you're
point.
chosen by the divine to do this, Ranveer. You know, I say, for instance, I tell my students, I don't see myself teaching and doing all this after 5 years. I want to, the ideals that I have, I want to just sit and just be in dhyana or meditation. But they say, Ma, who will teach us then? So you've chosen to do this. And so, for as long as God wants you to do this, you should do it. Happily do it as a sadhana. It's a sadhana. When we take our work, we can do our work at 3 different levels, all right, according to me. The lowest level is the grossest level, where you're doing it as a money earning thing and, pet ke liye, all that. At the second level, where you love something and it gives you a high on your ego and a real good, which happens to all of us. At this moment, it's happening to you and me, okay? And the third level, where you divinize your work and you make your work, your company as a god. You see, it's a spirit. When you have a company, you have BeerBiceps. It's a company. And you have already embodied the spirit in that company. So it's a living entity. Now, when you are subservient to this company, you're almost serving God. And then let God decide to how long you would do this. You do it as a sadhana, then it will give you, immeasurable fruits inside. Yeah.
Um, Ma'am, like it's been a very difficult couple of months, okay? And it's been the most glorious year from like a material perspective, from an adulation based perspective. Like we were awarded by the PM, and then when that happened, I didn't realize what was
Yes,
happening.
yesterday somebody told this to me.
Yeah. And just over the year, I've seen what an adulation oriented year it is.
Yeah.
But it's been a difficult year in terms of I've torn my knee ligament right now, and very randomly,
Oh.
life has been difficult. And in this job where we're doing podcasts for a living, so much of it is dependent on luck, in terms of who are the guests sent to you, who are the people sent to your life.
Everything is dependent on luck.
Yeah.
People think they're jotting down their pointers and bullets and they're moving their steps on the bullets correctly and they have planned it right, done it right, and been there. It's not like this. Everything is dependent on this absolute fathomless. There's a different planner. We said the sentence that I often use is that under the folds of doing, there's a sure and certain process of happening. So on the surface, you feel you're rowing the boat and you're doing everything, but there's a sure certain process of happening underneath, and that's actually the flow.
All you can do is give your 100%.
Give your 100%. Surrender to the flow of life.
What I want to genuinely confess is this year I found myself falling at God's feet and saying thank you. Just,
Yes.
sometimes not even feeling worthy of the adulation and like the results. And there are other days where now I genuinely feel one's relationship with the divine is very subjective. Like
Yes, it is.
for someone, God is a mother. For someone, God's a father. For someone, it's a brother. For me, it's like an elder brother.
Yeah.
Like that's how I've always looked at. So I think that in brotherhood, you're allowed to be a little upset sometimes with your
Yes,
brother.
you can. आप शिकायत कर सकते हैं. You can crib, you can cry, you can laugh, you can joke. Yes.
So this whole year has been a swing between falling at God's feet and being upset with my elder brother. Like that, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, I know this is you at play.
Yeah.
And it's not been like easy situations. It's been like, this injury, it was so painful, like even on a psychological level. And then similar work injuries have happened. And I'm just like, what's up? Like it's not that I'm a bad person. Why is this happening? So not able to like come to stability.
Terms with it.
Yeah. Have you had phases like this?
Everybody has, but I've never looked at them as negative phases. See, the faith in God should be so unflinching and unwavering and so sure that when you're making a dish and you're putting chilies in the oil and frying them, it's bound to give you some smell. Similarly, you put hing and it's bound to give you smell. So there's a dish God is making out of you. And there are certain spices He's going to put there to make you the perfect, beautiful you that He wants you to be. So when you're in 100% surrender, you allow, the beautiful things to happen to you or the unbeautiful things to happen to you. There was a very beautiful joke that someone said one day to me. Can I share it with you?
Please.
Yeah. A very ordinary village man shared this with me. There was a bus with passengers traveling in the hills, and the bus falls down the valley. Everybody dies. There's only one survivor. So the media throngs, they all catch him. How did you manage to survive? Everybody has died. How did you manage to survive? And the man is blushing, he doesn't know where to look and how to answer. He said, do you want me to tell the truth? He said, yes. He said, I was drunk. And bus was going like this. I was falling like this. The bus was going like this. I was falling like this. And I don't know how I was saved. So intoxicated. When you're God intoxicated, let loose. Let things happen. If something has to be discarded, let it be discarded. Including your own people sometimes. Including someone you really love or someone you're really attached to. If you really believe in God, then you should be 100% wedded to God. So wedded that whatever moments He's creating in your life is for your good. There's certitude. It should be written on your forehead. He's doing, I'm under work, I'm under construction, and the best possible creation can happen only when I allow the chiseling process.
Yeah. What chiseling is happening at your stage?
At my stage? At the moment, nothing. I'm in 6th heaven, 7th heaven. I think it happened what had to happen.
Yeah. How did you get from that phase to this phase?
मुझे पता ही नहीं लगा. I was so God intoxicated. I don't know how I survived.
Okay. I'm asking your human side the next question. Okay.
Yeah.
What's been the most difficult thing that's happened in your life?
Actually, nothing. I'm telling you. I mean, if you look back, there were huge challenges. But I don't remember any difficulty. It's because of the surrender. I've always been very surrendered. And the thing that used to happen with me, for instance, if I have a financial crisis, let's say, which made many times I've gone through that in my adulthood as well as, financial crisis. आपके पास पैसे ही नहीं है, let's say. And you want to do something, or how is it going to happen the next day? And you're wondering, my head would start churning creative ideas, a million ideas. I'm a good cook. I would always think, मैं sandwiches बना लूँगी, I can survive. I can make pakoras, I can survive. I can put up a shop somewhere, I can survive. So the not surviving idea never bothered me. I don't have anything today, but it was never a difficulty for me. So God has given me that state of mind because He lives in my mind. He makes me think very positively and very constructively and creatively all the time. For instance, when I came to Rishikesh, I had nothing with me. This was 15 years back, 16 years back. I had absolutely nothing with me. I left all my assets, family, everything, and I just came with a bag, very filmy style, with a bag to another new town. I changed my name, and nobody knows this name. So my practices were finished. I was a well-known person. You're Ranveer. Suppose tomorrow you name yourself Shailesh. Nobody knows who's Shailesh, right? So your name becomes your asset after a while. So I left everything and I came, and I was zero. Zero, absolutely. So I had many miracles in my life. Many miracles. I can write a book on that. So down the line, 6 months down the line, I had a piece of land that was gifted to me by a yogi I never met in my life. He knew me from my past life, and he gifted this place to me. He left the keys of that small piece of land with a jhopdi, like a kutia, to his friend. And he said that this woman would come. I would want you to give this place to her. And I met this person through someone, and I was gifted this land. To cut the story short, I had a land with me. I had a small cottage there, but I didn't have money to even renovate it. So I was sitting by the Ganga one day, and I was telling her, boss, I have nothing with me. How do I even have 10,000 to build a wall? And I saw an old couple coming out of the water that day, my neighbors. I was living in a rented apartment at that time in Rishikesh. I said, why are you taking a dip in the evening? You'll catch cold. So he said, it's Ganga Dashera today. आप नहीं कर रहे हो पूजा. You're not doing any puja. I felt so ashamed of myself. I told Ganga Ji that this is really too much. Why am I even thinking about 10,000 and this and that and that? I said, all I need is some money to build that place so that I can go and stay there and I can build my hermitage. And at that moment, I used to wear 2 diamond tops because I've lived a very good lifestyle before. I just removed them and I gave it to Gangaji. I said, this is all I have, but I don't want to sell them, and I gave them to Gangaji.
You put it in the Ganga?
Yes, offered it to her. This is your birthday today. This is all I have to offer. And now you see, take care of what I want to do. That day evening, when I went after my Ganga Darshan to my apartment, I had 5 students waiting for me. They wanted to study something with me. I do one-on-one retreats and I do in-house retreats. I host people in my house and I teach them. So they were waiting for me and they had a bag of money to give me. I started my work. From that day, there is no looking back to this day. We have a beautiful hermitage today. There's a beautiful temple, everything. So everything is taken care of, Ranveer. I really believe in this. It's only the ego self, the not unreal self. When the unreal self takes the doership, and when it thinks that it has to plan or do, things don't happen the way God wants it to happen. Because you yourself are an obstruction to the process of happening.
Wow.
You're an obstruction to the process of happening. If you're intoxicated in the flow of life and you are absolutely completely devoted, dedicated, believe you me, the journey is beautiful. And I don't think you'll ever recall 20 years from now, Ranveer, you'll be more intoxicated than now, and you will never recall any difficulty. All you'll remember is this beauty and grace that you're living in.
I was about to ask you from a very podcasting perspective that, yes, ma'am, I understand exactly what you're saying about increasing one's bhakti and, love for God and faith in the divine's plan. But my angle with the question was going to be, how can one actually cultivate that within oneself? Then I went back to age 26, 27 when I was going through some difficult times of a different nature. And I would go to my YSS ashram in Wadala in Mumbai. And the people there would uplift me in different ways.
Yeah, who's doing that? People are nothing but, it makes 10,000 instruments. An animal can come and lick you and can hug you, and it's God's love. He is not a solid form. His consciousness is just there. It will use all the things around you to give you comfort.
Yeah. Even through the show, when I meet people like yourself, I don't know the exact word, Sangati?
Yes.
Sangati.
Yes. Satsang.
I've realized that in one spiritual journey, again, we spoke about Guru Tattva some time ago, but it's the friends you meet along the way.
Yes.
Not everyone's a guru, but there can be a lot of spiritual friends who can visit your life and just lift you when you need that little bit of lifting. That's a big part of everyone's journey, right?
Yes.
That's why I'm assuming sadhus club together.
Yes. Susangati. Yeah.
So thank you for visiting my life, because it's just this conversation. I knew last night that this is going to be a very important conversation for me.
Yes.
Do you have anything to say?
About this, Susangati?
Yeah. Why are we meeting?
Why are we meeting? Of course, it's predestined, preconceived, predestined. But I didn't know you. You didn't know me. Then why are we here? We are here because it's a part of a master plan. The changes that have to happen in your mind, or the changes that have to happen in my mind, and the changes we both become instrumental in creating in people's mind. This is all a part of master plan. So we're flowing with it. That's it.
Hey, if you enjoyed this clip from the Ranveer Show, we've uploaded a ton of other clips related to a ton of other topics. So explore the channel, because there's something for everyone.